The Haunted Stables. Something has changed. Even locked in here, in this dense, eternal darkness, I can sense it. The one who kept my mind prisoner is gone. Freedom, light, seeping through. My liberator will come soon. I have waited for so long, locked in this narrow, suffocating space. I will never forgive myself for letting them trap me so easily all those years ago. But one day soon, when I am free, they will never feel safe again. Finally, I will have my revenge. Soon. Very, very soon. Sweet revenge, how I yearn for you. The Old Stable. Oh, sorry I'm late. I had to fix this old wreck, Lisa called, out of breath. She jumped off her bike, taking off her helmet and smoothing out her long jet-black hair, all in one flowing movement. Her best friend, Karen, had been waiting at the stable for a while. She felt bleary-eyed with sleepiness. It always amazed her how Lisa could be so perky at this early hour. Karen was a typical B-type personality, perhaps leaning towards C. She never woke up until late morning, and now with the summer holiday she found it very difficult to drag herself out of bed, especially at 6 a.m. But a promise was a promise, and the girls both had told Marc they would come over early to help him clean out the old stable. Marc Woods owned the local riding stable, which was originally an old farm. Recently, Marc had unexpectedly inherited the neighboring farm from his uncle, Andy Woods, who had died suddenly from a heart attack. Old Mr. Woods had been a grumpy, unfriendly man who had let his property more or less go to ruin. Marc had made several attempts to convince his uncle that he should let Marc rent his stable, but old Mr. Woods had always refused, without ever offering an explanation. Marc had never understood why his uncle was so stubborn about this. Lisa had met the old man only once, a couple of years ago, but that encounter had been more than enough. She had taken a shortcut over his land, happily convinced that Mr. Woods had gone to the nearest city to do some shopping. At least that was what Marc had told her. But Marc was obviously wrong. Just as Lisa passed the stable, casting a curious glance at the dirty windows, the old man had stormed out of his house and chased her away, yelling and shouting that if she ever set foot near his stable again, he would teach her a lesson she was not likely to forget. No wonder a man with such a foul temper had died of a heart attack, Lisa thought, just as Marc crossed the yard to greet them. He tried, without much success, to stifle a yawn. "Sleepless night again?" asked Lisa, and sent him a sympathetic smile. Marc and his wife Susan had just become the proud parents of twin boys a little over a month ago. After the twins' birth, a good night's sleep had become a rare occurrence for the young couple. Marc nodded and combed his fingers through his short blonde hair. "The twins have taken turns howling all night long," he sighed. "Now they're both asleep, thank heavens, and Suzanne as well. We're thinking of naming them Screamer and Yeller instead of Joe and James." Lisa and Karen laughed. "If you need a couple of babysitters, just say the word," offered Karen. "Lisa and I would be happy to take them for a walk in their baby carriage. They're so cute." "You haven't seen them at 2 a.m. screaming their heads off," Marc said bleakly. "I can assure you that they're far from cute at that hour." Then he too had to laugh. "Thanks for your offer anyway. I may take you up on it sometime. But right now we have to attack the stable. You can't imagine all the junk that's piled up in there. It'll probably take us all day to get it sorted out. I've already got a team started, so you just run along and join them. I've ordered pizza for all of us at noon." "Great," Karen said. She had been so tired when she got up that the thought of having breakfast hadn't even entered her mind. Now she felt the first pangs of hunger. "Here." Lisa held up a banana. I bet you haven't eaten any breakfast yet, have you, sleepyhead? You know me too well. Grateful, Karen grabbed the banana, peeled it, and took a big bite. The two girls hurried toward the old stable building. There was a time when the walls had been painted white, but most of the paint had now peeled off, and several roof tiles were missing, leaving gaping holes. "Isn't it strange how old Mr. Woods just left his buildings to rot?" Karen commented, as they ducked through the low stable door. Lisa said absent-mindedly. She glanced around the dimly lit room. The place was buzzing with activity. People were lifting heavy crates, and some were carrying planks and old tools towards the door. "Well, we can't just stand here. Let's get started," Karen said, nudging Lisa. "Wow, Marc wasn't kidding. I've never seen so much junk in all my life. It even beats your room." Karen laughed at her own joke, but Lisa wasn't paying attention. She took a step into one of the stalls, but stopped short. What was this? She felt as if someone had put a big hand around her neck and squeezed it. All of a sudden it was difficult to breathe, and she felt a cold sweat break out on her back and forehead. Evil. The word popped into her brain out of nowhere. This place is filled with evil. The next minute the strange sensation was gone, but she noticed her arms were covered in goosebumps, even though she wasn't feeling cold. "Am I getting sick?" she thought worriedly. "Hey, are you awake? Help me lift this crate," Karen asked impatiently. "Coming." Lisa tried to shake off the unpleasant feeling and helped Karen carry a heavy wooden crate covered in dust towards the door. Outside, in the brilliant sunshine, Lisa breathed a sigh of relief. She glanced at the stable door. She really did not want to go back inside. "Knock it off," she told herself sternly. "Are you totally nuts? There's nothing dangerous inside the old stable, other than rusty nails, that is." Common sense told her she was right, but her gut feeling said something else. It warned her of danger. But danger for whom? She had no idea. She just had a horrible feeling there was something evil inside, biding its time, waiting. It almost went wrong. I wasn't prepared, was not expecting this immediate contact. It felt like a young woman, almost a child. Mustn't scare her off, not yet. I will wait until the time is right. Not long now, she's so close. She's going to help me to freedom and revenge.